Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Thrashcast. Oh, we're back, and Ken, what episode are we? 88?
88, sir.
Yes. Wow, 88, and we just want to send. He's on the mend. He'll be on next week, we believe. That's Mr. Billy will be back. So
Yes.
Ken, let's we'll welcome our brother back next week. We
Absolutely.
miss him, and we're just kind of holding the fort down for him.
As you can see, there's two of us this week only. No special guest or anything. So
Yeah, you're stuck with the two of us.
But
yeah, welcome to Thrashcast. For those of you who need to find us, very, very easy. You can find us on really anywheres, but if you want to listen to us in your car, we're on Spotify. Spotify. We're on Rumble. We're on TikTok, and you can just type us into YouTube, Thrashcast. We're under the banner of Horror Metal Sounds, but if you type in Thrashcast or Horror Metal Sounds, bing, bang, boom, they'll just come up, all our episodes. And wow, Ken, we got some great news from the last couple episodes, eh?
Yeah, we've been doing really well. I mean, I like a huge spike with the last two. I knew the Exodus album would do well.
Yeah.
Like we had well over 270 views, people commenting on it. But the Slayer Show No Mercy was a huge one. We're like 410 views now, which is crazy. Nice. Which goes back to the very first episode when we did Creator Pleasure to Kill.
Wicked.
Which was
and we want to thank Phil Faso, who was our guest on that episode. Thanks a lot. I mean, that was a great episode. I think God, it was a great discussion, great album. So
it was a very good discussion.
And there's a lot of good discussion going on online in that. A lot of people commenting on Facebook and on YouTube, just talking about it, which is really, really cool.
Well, you know what? I didn't even realize how popular the album was. I it's Slayer, but I was like, wow, I guess people really do love the first album.
Yeah. No, it must be near and dear to everybody's heart. Like I always thought, it's one of my favorites, but my favorite is South of Heaven. Yeah, and it's points in between the first four albums. So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but anyways, tonight we're going to be heading back to the West Coast, and we're hitting on Death Angel's Frolic Through the Park. So
yes, sir.
You have it there, awesome,
right there, Frolic Through the Park.
No, that's great. It's their second album, and from 1988. So we're going to get into that kind of a different album. We'll talk about it. But Ken, I know you're very fond of this album. It was the first one I believe you picked up from. Got you into Death Angel.
Yep, that was the first one.
Nice.
I knew about them, but this is the first album I actually bought.
Yeah. I think the first one was mine, and then I think I got Act 3 and then went back to this, but yes. I gotta admit this was a great bridge between the two albums for sure. Like
I mean all three are all good for different reasons,
but,
they're all solid records.
You
just got to keep in mind they're kids. That's the only thing you have to keep in mind. They're teenagers. They're not even like full-fledged adults yet. And they're putting out music like this, so I mean that has to tell you something.
Exactly. So just our first segment of the night, which we usually get into, is what are we spinning and, any news we have. Ken, you take it away.
Yeah, there's a few things going on. We were talking before we started recording. Gilmore, drummer of Triumph, was saying that he's not going to rule out the possibility of a new album from the band, which would be interesting. I mean, it's been years since Edge of Excess, so I mean, like, I don't know. I'd wonder what it would sound like. I'd be very, very curious what it would sound like. But if they can pull it off and they can do it, why not? I'd say go for it. I'll buy it.
Yeah,
I'll definitely buy it. So yeah, we'll see. I thought that was interesting that he kind of let that into the discussion that they may consider that. So we'll see.
And they do have a greatest hits album coming out in early June.
Yeah, you were saying. Yeah. Which I'll be buying that as well.
Oh yeah,
I'll definitely. I buy everything Triumph, so I mean you have to have it. Like, yeah, I'll definitely be buying it for sure.
So have you seen Triumph live?
Yep.
Yeah.
I actually saw their very last concert at the Kingswood Music Theatre in Canada's Wonderland.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was their very last show, and it was sad because it became their last show because Rick quit the band right after that. So,
Yeah.
and that pretty much, I guess the band wasn't done, but I mean, for Rick, he was done, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw them when Brighton Rock opened up.
Oh, wicked.
And Brighton Rock, I liked actually for a very not well known Canadian band,
Yeah.
but pretty solid rock for if you're into like Canadian rock bands. But
And
it
I
was a
saw
pretty
them
good
back
time.
in, oh,
Mhm.
I can't, I think it was 85 for Thunder 7.
Oh yeah, great
Yeah,
album.
yeah. So that album's really, really tight with me. I love that album. I mean, everybody who's Triumph fans, I find the older group, even older than us, really like the older albums, and I do too. But that was like my Triumph was there, and Allied Forces, and all the those later '80s albums, which just
Well,
were
Never
amazing.
Surrender is a great album
Yeah,
too.
yeah, a wicked album.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I don't think they have a bad studio album to be
No,
honest.
no.
They're all good. They're all equally good.
And not to keep going on your news thing, but
Yeah,
they're tomorrow night. The Reloaded tour begins. They've got
yeah.
a show in Orlando, Florida on the 10th of, because we're recording this on the 9th. So on the 10th of tomorrow, Friday, they're in Orlando. So the set list will be leaked, and I'm sure. And I saw another part where they were dressing, I guess the whole thing is going to be black and white themed.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to hearing what's going to be said after the
Yeah.
first two shows. Yeah, I think a lot of people, especially a lot of Americans, are pretty excited about seeing them live. So
Oh yeah, and what I love about Triumph is they always, when I was growing up, I only saw them the one time, but they did come to Halifax every tour,
yeah,
so it was kind of neat because they never, like, they always went coast to coast in Canada. They would go from right from the west coast right to the east coast, and everywhere's in between, and not a lot of bands do that. Rush used to do that in the early days, so
yeah.
yeah, it's kind of
Yeah, you
cool.
have to give Triumph props for that. Like pretty much touring everywhere, United States, Europe,
Yeah,
Canada. Like they were like the rock and roll machine. I mean,
yeah,
they're dubbed that, so I mean, it makes sense.
yeah.
But we'll see what they do. We'll see how they feel on this tour.
Yeah.
It should be fun. So the other news I heard was that Skin Lab just
Ooh.
recorded a song for Hatebreed. They recorded Hatebreed's what was it? Last Breath.
Okay.
So they did a cover of it and just released it. You can catch it on YouTube. So yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. I was like, oh, I haven't heard from Skin Lab in a long time.
Who's
But
in Skin Lab? Somebody, is it somebody from Machine Head and Skinhead? Or
no, it's
Skin
Defiance.
Defiance. Yeah,
Steve Escobar, whose
that's
bass
right.
player and singer was also in Defiance.
Yeah.
So that's his second band.
Skin Lab's
Um,
cool.
yeah, I like Skin Lab too. I like I've always liked the name of the band, Skin Lab. It's like what the hell? But they're great. I think they're fantastic. The cover is pretty good. I'm not a huge Hatebreed fan, but
Yeah.
I thought it was a really good cover song. So
Cool.
hopefully that means new music is coming. I don't know
Nice.
because they just kind of reignited or restarted Defiance again because they had put them to rest for a little while. And now I hear they're back as a band. So does that mean we're getting more Defiance
Yeah.
or we're getting Skin Lab? I don't know, or both.
Yeah.
I guess it remains to be seen what we're going to be getting with it. But
Cool.
and then the other big news, and I know I mentioned this to you guys in our group chat, but there is a new Artillery CD coming out.
Yes.
It's an EP. But what I did not know is that their previous singer Michael Dahl has left the band because he's struggling with touring with them,
Oh, okay.
going on tour. So they replaced him with Michael Steen, with Martin Steen, which shocked me because if you know Martin fronts the band Iron Fire, which is a
Right.
really,
Right.
really good Danish like power metal band. If you're into power metal, really really good band. So I was shocked that Martin is now lead singer of this band. So
Cool.
you can hear Martin on the new song "Made in Hell," which is pretty solid. That's the name of the EP, and that's the title track on the EP. So I'm looking forward to that. It's pretty cool. I was a bit surprised by that.
Cool.
Well, and then, oh yeah, and the last bit of news I wanted to mention too is that so we did hear from Pete from Sea of Tranquility. So
Yes.
he's finally appearing back on camera, and I bring this up because he just did this review for a band which I have not heard of before, Kal-El, which basically is like a stoner doom metal band. He just did their CD. He did a review of their CD, and I caught the review, and I was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool." So
Yeah.
Kal-El, which is the name they're taking from Superman's Kryptonian birth name
Right.
for this album. It's really, really good stuff. If you haven't heard it, I suggest you go give it a spin. It's really good stuff. There's like it kind of reminds me of Monster Magnet. There's like some Sabbath. There's some Black Label Society, some Sloth Egg. It's really, really good stuff.
Oh, cool.
So I ordered it. I ordered it. So it's like I gotta have the CD. Kind of excited to get that, but it's pretty cool. But
Wicked.
that's pretty much all the news I have this week. Oh, and sorry, I should go back before you move on there, Jim. Yeah, so Pete's back. I saw that apparently he had a brain tumor in the back of his head, which they removed.
Yeah.
So it put him in some really crazy situations. I guess for a while he couldn't function or walk or something of that nature, and he's all just relearning everything. But he seems to be all right. Like,
Cool.
you know, you can tell he's kind of gaunt a little bit, I guess, from going through everything he went through.
Well, we wish him well. Yeah.
Absolutely, I love
Yeah.
Super.
Same with
Totally
me.
love it.
Huge fan.
Yeah, I listen. I like the reviews on that site. It's great.
Yeah.
But that's about all I have for this week, Jim.
Cool. I've got the only news I got was I piggyback on your Triumph, and just for everybody who's excited as we are, the set list will probably be somewhat divulged tomorrow when they play in Orlando. I can't wait.
Yeah,
They're going to be in Halifax on the 28th of April, so about 2.5 weeks I get to see them. So
that's right.
And April Wine, who I love. That I can't wait. What a package that's going to be. So anybody, and they're going to be touring pretty much right across Canada and a lot of the US. So, and I think they're adding dates depending on how things go. So hopefully they stay healthy. Hopefully they get that bug. I'd love for them. I know this is just me being greedy, but I would love for them to do another album. I would definitely be like you, Ken, first in line to buy that. Just to, we love them. I mean, that was like the anthem of my 80s youth
Here.
growing up.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I love Triumph growing up.
But I got some cool stuff I'm spinning. So the first thing, is a thrash band, Cruel Force.
These guys are great.
Man. Yeah. Anita, this is an amazing new album. So I think this is going to, and I keep saying this on every album, and I'm only going to have 15 by the end of the year. And I have another one here, but this one's really, really good. I would suggest anybody, big thrash fan, definitely go out, check out their last couple. They're really, really good. Oh man, it's so cool on the back. The graphics, I know you'd love that, Ken.
Yeah, it's great. That's great. Yeah,
it's
awesome.
Great band, great album. But I also I got Nervosa's Slave Machine.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And this right now, and you know how much I love Megadeth. You know how much I love Megadeth. And I got to be honest, this is my favorite thrash album of the year so far. And I know it's debatable on how they could be considered maybe even a little bit of death thrash, a little bit of death thrash grindcore maybe, but this band, and you know what? We talked about when we were sort of with Arch. This is the band I think Arch Enemy would like to be. You know what I mean? This is
I can see that.
Hell of an album. One hell of an album.
Some reviews are saying that it's too close to Arch Enemy, but I haven't.
I think it blows Arch Enemy away.
Yeah, I would think that would be the case.
Oh, it is so heavy, and it has got some really good melodic, heavy parts. But and I find the vocals on it are harsh, and I like the fact that there's not a lot of going between clean and harsh vocals. Right. She pretty much sticks with just harsh vocals on this, and I like that a lot better.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, cool. Holy cow! There's some great stuff on here, like Learn and Repent. 30 Seconds, The New Empire. This thing here is like a 9.5 out of 10 for me.
Oh, I believe you. I believe you.
Oh man, it's just so good. And anyways, that's a great album. And then I got kind of I was watching a podcast and somebody brought this up from one of their favorite albums last year. So
Okay.
a band that I wasn't really familiar with, but I know you are, Ken, Death Haven.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I picked this up. It's really cool. It's got kind of a cool cover to it. I love it.
Yeah. It's interesting.
And it's Lonely People with Power. This thing is I don't know how you would describe them. They had a description, and I never heard of the genre before, but I consider them like it's an American black metal, so not at all like European or Norwegian or any Swedish or anything like that. This
Mm-hmm.
is more of an American take on death metal, mixed with kind of a bit of grindcore, a little bit of death metal. It just got it's very genre sort of it's all over the place. But what
Yeah.
a hell of an album! What a hell
Yeah.
of an album! This came out in 2025, and the person that I was watching on the podcast, I can't even remember. They were like, it was one of their favorite albums. So just for kicks, I decided to, I'll throw it on and listen to it. And I'll tell you, for the last week and a half, that's all really I've been listening to. And I got to go back and get their earlier albums. I like to listen to them, but
Yeah. Yeah.
just really, really good, really, really good.
I don't think that got a lot of talk last
No,
year, though. I don't remember seeing much about it. I knew it came out, but I don't
yeah.
remember anyone really like discussing it. So
I
I'm
think when
glad
it
you
came
got it,
out,
though.
I played it because it came through on my feed, and I was
Right?
like, "Yeah, this is pretty good," but I just didn't like. You got to listen to the kind of the whole album, like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
kind of,
Yeah.
and it's really cool how it goes from. It's got these like blast, like these death, or sorry, these blackened black metal. I guess I'm not a huge knowledgeable person on black metal, so I would leave this up to Jason DeVille, our friend there, to maybe he can listen to it and tell me what he thinks of it. I'd love to hear his view on it. But it's got some really good black like blast beats, and I just holy cow, it's got that sort of I call it a black metal chug where it's that down tune just and
Right. Right.
and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
vocals go from you can get some harsh vocals and some clean depending on the song, but it's I just think it's really good, and I've watched some live like live clips online, and they look pretty tight live. So
I
definitely
think
some.
what you were saying. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you,
Yeah,
Jim.
no problem.
You were saying I think they call themselves Black Gaze,
Yeah, and I don't know.
which had American Black Gaze.
Yeah,
Okay.
it said
I
something
don't know
about
what that.
shoegaze, and I was like, "What?" I didn't quite understand what that was.
Yeah, I see. So they blend. They're saying they blend black metal, shoegaze, and post rock.
Yeah,
I don't know what shoegaze is either, dude. That's a bit.
no, I wouldn't even post rock for me. Yeah, maybe I'll be honest. There's no thrash with it whatsoever. It's got maybe some death sounds to it, like more of a
Right.
death, black and death metal, but definitely some black metal mixed in there. I guess some of it might be post rock and some of the maybe slower, more melodic songs, but just really cool CD.
So Jim. So shoegaze is a subgenre of indie and alternative rock characterized by ethereal soundscapes, obscured vocals, and extensive
Uh,
use of guitar effects and distortion.
oh, cool.
That's what it
There,
says.
there is that in there.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I've heard of some of their stuff, but I haven't gone through a lot of it, so I'd have to sit down and listen to it.
And I love the cover. It's just
Yeah,
so
the
like,
cover's fun. I like the cover too.
yeah, you don't even know like it's like some kid in the car and some. It looks like it's done in the '70s. I love it. I mean, it's so cool. And anyways, it
Yeah,
not to keep going on it, but that was one of my finds this week. But
cool.
anyhow, cool.
That's all right.
So we're gonna get into what we came here for, which is frolic in the park, and well, it's kind of interesting because Ken, I know the first. We'll go through our couple of questions here, but I think the biggest thing is that I kind of wondered. I mean, we're going to talk about a lot of this throughout, but the cover art. I mean, you're our expert artist here. Do you think that it matches because this album is definitely a diverse album, especially from their first album, maybe even
Hmm.
lends into the third album a little bit, which is their masterpiece of
Yeah,
Act
exactly.
Three. I personally think it goes for me even, and I think I've said this against what I'm going to say now, but I like 1, 2, and 3 in that order. I mean, I loved Act 3, but I think Frolic in the Park is right up there with it. And I mean,
I
I love
agree.
the thrash, the raw thrash of the first one, the ultraviolence.
Yeah.
But what do you think about the cover art on it?
Well, I actually like the cover art, believe it
Yeah,
or not. I think it matches what they were trying to do with the album.
yeah,
So like the album has like, so it combines elements of like photographic narrative,
hmm,
which is there, and then there's some art in the background, like the sky is kind of like it's all watercolor, which is kind of interesting. It's I like the concept that they're going for with it. Sam Hafner did the painted portions of the cover, and then they hired a photographer, Mark Layola, who did the actual photograph. Sort of
right,
like what they did with Testaments to Legacy, where it was a combination of photo and a little bit of illustration.
yeah,
So they did that here with this album. So it's a cool concept. I tend to like it. I like how it's everything is like it's all conceptually inside the door, like the
yeah,
elevator door or a lift. I don't even think it's an elevator. I think it's one of those lift operators. You know, you get in a warehouse. That's what I
yeah,
think it is. That for me personally, just the way it's structured. But everything is encapsulated into that framing device, and I love how the logo is framed right at top center
yeah,
around that kind of like watercolor sky. It's so
yeah,
great. It really makes that logo pop in my
yeah,
mind. I totally love it. But yeah, and it's also they use that kind of like fisheye lens, so
yeah.
everything is widened, scoped around. It's great. I think it's a great cover. When you look at it, there's so much going on in it.
Oh
There's the
yeah.
trees, there's the kids in the background, there's the woman sitting on the chair, there's that dude in the suit. It's like, okay, I like it. I actually like it quite a bit. It's a cool cover.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I think it's cool too, and I love how the frolic through the park is kind of like in a dripping kind of
Yes,
blood. But what I
that's
like
right.
about it is it reminds me. I mean, yes, I think it's like some sort of elevator, and it's framed in, but it kind of reminds me of those old TVs, like the sort
Yeah,
of
yes,
bowed out
yes.
old TV. Yeah,
You're right. It does have that look that like
yeah,
it looks like an old kind of television.
yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it too. I think it's it's great. It's a great idea for a cover. And the guy's got the balloon too. You can see there like there's a balloon going up and
That's
I,
right.
it's funny. It's just funny. I don't know what the narrative is, but it's yeah, I kind of like it. It's I don't know if it's goofy, but it's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's kind of definitely a different than the apocalyptic scene from their first album. You know what I mean?
Well, Sam painted that first album too.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
so Sam did the first two albums, and they went with a different artist for Act
For
Three.
Act 3, which I like
Act
that album
Three,
cover too.
yeah, I think it's okay. I'm not as enamored with it as you guys are.
Yeah.
Adrian Stubican did the painting for Act Three, but yeah, they at least they you can tell they try to be creative with the covers.
Yeah.
Unlike Exodus, who don't know anything about creating covers in the earlier records,
Yeah. Yeah.
but that remains to be seen. But whatever.
And it's safe to say that this was their last release on, I believe it was Enigma, and then they went off to the next album. They did through Geffen Records. So
Geffen, yes, which is
yeah,
a way bigger label, I think.
exactly. And I wonder if there was something to do with the fact because this album. I mean, yeah, we'll go through the questions and then we can talk about because this album is very well liked by critics.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah, yeah.
very, but fans have more of a different
I
sort
know.
of viewpoint on it. So, like that, my second question. I know we think, and many people think this is an essential thrash metal album, but it
Mm-hmm.
does get some hate from
Mm-hmm.
fans within the genre, with it being sort of a kind of a departure or a change from their first album,
Yeah,
incorporating more funk and hardcore with thrash. I
yeah,
mean, what's your thoughts on the like? I know you don't think the hate is deserving because you like it like I do, but what do you
yeah,
think?
yeah.
Do you think that just about this time, maybe thrash fans had a hard time changing a little bit?
Oh yeah, oh, for sure. Like I think people in the metal like the metal scene, a lot of people are really closed minded.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I've always like the hate towards Metallica always gets me like, oh, they haven't been a good band since like the first three, like, oh, give me a break. Like, fuck off with that already. So like every band goes through an evolutionary change, no
True.
matter what style, who you are. All four of the big four bands went through that. They all changed, and it's just life.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's deserving. And we've now this is the third time we're talking about Death Angel, right? So we did the first and third, and we all agree that they were about evolution.
Yeah.
They never really stuck to the plan. They started with a plan, and then they just veered off into the stratosphere into doing something unique. So I like it. I don't think I have an issue with what people are saying.
Yeah, you seem to be like even more so than me. You're much more like I know the Metallica thing. But and you and Jason brought up there 2 weeks ago, like Jimmy, you don't give Metallica a break, but you give Exodus on their new album a break, and I'm like, I know, and Creator a break, I know, and this I Death Angel's probably one of my favorite bands all time, and I give them a break with these albums that they definitely tried. I don't know what it is, and Metallica is my favorite band hands down. So I don't know why I'm stuck on that gatekeeping with them, but not on these with these bands. I don't get it.
Well, but the difference here, though, Jimmy, is that they started like the revolution, and then they quickly abandoned it for the whole whatever with loads. So I think a lot of people just couldn't accept that or don't.
And that's true too, because if Slayer would be the second, and maybe Anthrax up there, and obviously Megadeth, they didn't. They kind of like Megadeth. Really, only had one really album where they sort of changed.
Risk.
Anthrax didn't. I mean, Anthrax for me, other than the change of the singer, well, I'm not talking from the first to the second. Not from Neil to Joey. I'm talking Joey to Bush and then back to Joey. I think if Joey stayed with the band, I don't think they were going to change the genre sound that much. What do maybe that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, when they hired Bush, it was a totally different sound. It wasn't thrash.
Right.
It was just more like heavy metal with some thrash elements.
Right.
And I have all those albums, and I saw every tour that they did with John, and it's different. It's so, but I don't know. I mean, I guess your mileage will vary depending on your taste or your interest in the band that you like. I mean, you're right. Some people give certain bands a pass, and some people don't. They're held to the standard, right?
Yeah.
But
I think I got to start being a little lighter on Metallica's latter stuff, and I don't know. Maybe
you're not wrong, but Jim, you're not wrong.
Yeah, it's true.
Later Metallica is not good.
Yeah,
like you're right. Like if you take the last 2 or 3 albums and maybe take cherry picked songs from it, you'd probably have one good decent album.
Oh yeah.
But the majority of it's garbage. It's just all filler. It's all loaded filler that doesn't need to be there. But anyways, this is not a Metallica podcast. We're talking about.
I always bring it in though.
I know, yeah. Well, that's all right. I mean, it's.
So this question kind of piggybacks on these 3 questions are almost piggybacking each other. I kind of cheated. Mark and Rob consider this album their bastard album.
Yes.
And have been critical about it. I mean, you kind of hit it on the head, and this spawns another question, which is interesting. Do you think the age of the guys back then, they were just, I mean, when you're 15 and 16 making these hit albums. And I mean, Act 3 was these 3 albums are a massive part of thrash genre. So I'm wondering if they just, they were just so full of ambition and different types of things that they wanted to put out there. I mean, they were probably overflowing with artistic ability at that young age that maybe they just, they were just producing this stuff really, really honestly. I mean,
Andy was 16.
Yeah.
Right? So
what do you think of that comment? Do you think they look back and think that, or do you think?
Well, I think every artist does this,
True.
Right? Like Kerry King does this all the time when it comes to Slayer. Yeah. He's always going back and blah 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 blah. This sucks. This is like whatever. It's just something that you do.
Yeah.
But I think with Mark and Rob, they're from my understanding, I think they were the 2 oldest members of the band.
Right.
So Rob strikes me as someone who's very ambitious anyways. So it's funny that he says this is the bastard work, but yet this album has the most diversity on it.
Yeah.
and he's the one that wrote the majority of the lyrics and the music.
Yeah.
So I find it funny that you would say that, but
And Mark's such a talented singer. I think,
absolutely, yeah, yeah.
it's funny. When I read that, I was like, man, like, and I get mad when bands, I know it's common, it's kind of human nature to second guess what, had we not done this and we would have done that,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
guess. But I don't know. I think it's a killer album. And I think people need to definitely, like, give this one a chance if they haven't, really get into it and listen to it from cover to cover.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're way too hard on themselves. And it
Yeah.
was like the ironic thing. I know we discussed this before in previous Death Angel podcasts, but everything they've done has been diverse. Even after they left, like when they put Death Angel to bed for a while,
Yeah.
everything they did afterwards, like the Swarm, the organization, it's all this. It just continued the same shit that they were working on here. So
Right.
I find the whole thing funny in a lot of ways. It's like you're bitching about this, but if you listen to the Swarm, it's all groove metal.
Yeah.
Funk and groove metal. So it's like I don't get it. I don't understand, but I don't know. I think people just say things. They just say things when they're put on the spot, like, "Ah, yeah, this sucks." And okay, does it
Yeah.
suck? No, but yeah, it's funny.
So, last question: where does this fit in their catalog for you?
Oh, it's hard for me because it's the first album I bought from them.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I have to go, I agree with you, Jimmy. It's 1, 2, 3. Like you got to go in that order. I totally would agree with you with that. 1, 2, 3.
I mean, I love a lot of new Death Angel. Like, don't get me wrong. I
Yeah,
love, a lot of the Evil Divide and stuff like that. And I love Humanicide and stuff. But I think, the first album was just so groundbreaking at such a young age for these guys. And then, I think the second album's kind of like, man, it was building up to Act 3. They really did a lot of soul searching on this album. I find that it's full of great stuff. But I find it gets sandwiched in between, and then everybody who's Death Angel or not even tend to go with Act 3 as their favorite.
That's right.
So, but anyways,
I'm like yourself. I would do the same. 1, 2, 3. That's how I would rank it.
Yeah, same here. Act 3 is a legendary album, but I didn't realize that this hit a lot of 9s, 9.5s on a lot of those old school magazines that ranked it, and that I was reading through, and I was like, I don't remember it being that. Like, I know the first album, I think probably the first two albums got a lot more popular, obviously, after Act 3, because Act 3 went very commercially successful for the band. It was everywhere for sale.
That's right.
So, yeah. Okay, well, we're going to get started, Ken. 1988, I'm not going to talk about Death Angel. We've already done 2 of their albums, so now we're going to the sandwich in between one. What do you think about this opener in Third Floor?
This is great. This is one song that they actually still play live.
Yeah,
a lot in their set. It's a great song because you get right at the start, the elevator going up. You hear it goes to the 3rd floor. You get the ding, the doors open, and then you hear like the birds chirping and the kids in the background, and then from there it just like wham, you get smacked right in the face with that, like those riffs. Whew. Man, those guitars, and then everything kind of like I like how it just fades in, and then it gets louder and louder and louder, and then 41 seconds, bam, everything just goes insane. But it's great. It's a full throttle song, lots of gang shouts, which I like. Has a really really good chorus, super good chorus. Welcome to the 3rd floor. It's like it's a one-way trip, and they lock the door. Basically, the whole song's an allegory for being sent to an insane asylum, so which I think is kind of cool. Yeah, but yeah, it's great. It's like I think the song is really good as an opening number for me.
Yeah, I agree. I love the fact that this pretty much summed up the album art.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's
Totally,
wicked.
you're
It's
right.
like you have that. It is an elevator. It opens up. You can hear the birds chirping and the kids playing, and but I mean, oh yeah, this is just everything you said. I find it's got a really heavy crossover vibe, and I got to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah,
And this is probably why I think you like the album quite a bit. And well, I know it was your first one, so you have a bit of a soft spot there for it,
hmm
and I like it as well because many of these songs for me have a Anthrax vibe musically and
Somewhat.
even
Yeah,
vocally in some of them.
yeah, I can see
I,
that. Yeah,
I,
I can see that.
I find Mark sounds like Joey in some of these songs in sort of different keys and different, not all throughout the songs, but, and it sounds really cool. Like, I'm like, so many times and this one has a little bit musically of an Anthrax vibe. I love the chorus too. Welcome to the third floor. I like it when the song totally stops about three
Yes,
quarters through and then just
yes.
starts up again with that cool bass riff. And then it just, and Mark's scream at the kind of towards the end of it is pretty cool. So wicked,
I
wicked
think
track.
at 233, that's a great one too, though, when he says, then they lock the door. He just
Yeah.
like emphasizes that. It's so great. It's like, yeah, it's a really good. It's a good, solid song. I would agree with you
Yeah. And this could have easily, I
for
mean,
sure.
this one here could have, I don't know if it could have been on there. Like a lot of these tracks I couldn't really see on the first album. Like, I don't know if how
Mm.
you feel about that.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
know. I don't know if it would have been something you could hear on the first album. There's a lot more progression because they didn't. When you think about it, they didn't have a lot of punk elements, or they didn't let the punk element seep through on the first album. But
right.
here they decided to do that, which
Yeah, yeah.
it's very, like you say, it's very evident. So no, I wouldn't know if this would work on the first album. I think it works here though.
Yeah,
It definitely
cool.
works here. But
Well,
yeah,
song number two, Road Mutants. We're heading into this one here is kind of interesting because it's a heavier thrash song. I mean,
yeah.
the gang shouts on this continue. At 209, the song gets more melodic for me. At 225,
hmm
there's a riff that just keeps the chug kind of going. And for me,
hmm
this song's got more of an old school thrash vibe. And that bass intro onto it is good. And I love Mark's vocals on this are so clean that it just sounds so amazing. What's your
Yeah.
thoughts
No,
on
I would.
Road Mutants?
Oh, this is a great song.
Yeah.
It's like it piggybacks off, third floor to this, and it's great because Rob wrote all these lyrics and he wrote the music, and it's about Mad Max. That's the whole
Yeah.
point of the song. They're on the road, they're killing people, they're kicking ass. It's basically it's a song you could see in Mad Max,
Yeah.
in my mind, like because it's a group, they're violent, they're highly destructive, they're a gang, and that's what you got in Mad Max. So I love the song for that reason.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of punk vibes in here.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of that going on here, and I love the friction in the guitars. The one thing I noticed about this album is that a comparison I always find is that they remind me a little bit of Toxic.
Yeah.
I did just the friction of the guitars. Like
Yeah.
there's something about it. I get a little bit of Voivod and I get a little bit of Toxic at times when I'm listening to this. It's like, but this song itself, like you're right. It's an old school killer thrash song.
It's funny you say Voivod because
Yeah.
I got that written down too. There's some down tuning of the guitars
Yes.
for that
Yes.
sort of Voivod sound. Yeah, I get that, especially in the next one. So yeah, no, it's true, true. So take us away with number three there, Ken. Why you do this?
Yeah. This is an interesting song.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I thought people would hate the song, but I like it.
Yeah.
It has its moments. The Mark wrote the lyrics and Rob did the music, so obviously that's the 1-2 combination between band members here. But the lyrics, they're all about like they're expressing the frustration of like being deceived by another person. So
Mm-hmm.
we don't know who the other person is, but it's about also you're exploring your weaknesses and your vulnerabilities. So I think it's a cool song.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the kind of song that they would more start writing lean towards Act 3 because you got more personal lyrics on that album. So this reminds me of something I could see on Act 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a precursor to Act 3 in a lot of ways too, in my mind. But apparently Mark gave an interview with this in 2003, And he basically said the title of the song came from the Exorcist movie, which I was like, how? I don't remember. I'd have to go back and watch The Exorcist, but I thought that was kind of interesting. So I don't know what if he's referring to a scene,
Yeah.
but I thought that was quite interesting. But again, there's a lot of hardcore punk vibes here as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fast and energetic at the start of the song. A lots of friction with the guitars, which is what I like. And then Mark is great. Those vocals, they don't cut into like 120.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow. And it's got a decent chorus. Overall, it's a good song. I actually don't mind this at all. Pretty decent.
I agree. Everything you said, and my notes were pretty much exactly the same. Like I said, this is a total mix of genres and sounds.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I think that's really cool. I mean, the chorus, "Why you do this," is pretty cool. And like I said at first, starts off with an old school Metallica musical vibe, but
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
it goes with a Voivod guitar sound. And
Mhm.
it's funny you brought up Voivod before, because I thought I was the only one understanding that. So that's cool, because
No, I picked it up right away.
yeah, there's a lot of that in here, and even
Yeah.
some Sabbath, and even but lots of Anthrax. But this year, I like this song, and I mean the killer riff intro. You said it all. I mean, it's one hell of a. I think it's a really good track, and really genre jumping here. I mean, it goes through.
Yeah.
You got crossover, funk, groove. You got all kinds of stuff happening, and I think this song definitely could have been on Act 3, and I think
Yeah,
this
that's
was
what I
maybe
thought. Yeah.
5 years ahead of its time.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's a
Yeah.
precursor to Act 3.
So,
But don't you think though Mark's vocals are when he does the chorus, like
yeah,
why it's clean singing.
yeah,
It's so great. It's not what you would expect. As a punk band, you'd be like, why you do this? Like you're
yeah,
yelling and screaming up, but he's very fluid, very smooth. Like it's great. Like that's
yeah,
oh, whew,
yeah. I love
great
it.
song. It's a
And
great
this
song.
leads into their sort of big hit off this album and their single "Aboard," which I
Yeah.
loved your guys' promo on that. Ken,
Yeah.
Jim and Ken are aboard this week, so they're going to discuss Death Angel. That was cool. But I mean, this song here, everybody knows as a video, was on over Much Music and MTV.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got that cool riff. I think it's a great song. It's got
The
a
riff is
lower
awesome.
register chug
Mhm.
that leads into a heavy part of the song. And at 106, his vocals are, again, I wrote super clear, clean vocals. And I mean, lots of bass in the song. And then you love the, "I'm bored." And it's just,
Yeah, I'm bored.
yeah.
And it goes
You
back to
love
that
it.
groovy
What's
guitar.
your thoughts on it?
Oh yeah, it's a great song. It's probably the first song I think I heard
Okay.
when this album came out. I know I did, and I heard it probably on the radio, and it's like, yeah, it caught me right away. And like that opening riff is fantastic. It's really catchy. Yeah, there's some groove metal, a lot of groove metal here, but it's funky. It's got it all, and I don't think any thrash band was doing this kind of stuff way back then.
No.
You know, and I know this. This is a fact that I did know. I looked it up, but I already knew this. This song also appears in the Leatherface Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 3.
Yes.
It's a background song.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I remembered it and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. So I pulled out my DVD copy and went back to look it up and I'm like, oh yeah, there it is. There's the song.
So is it at the end where doesn't somebody say "I'm bored" or something?
Yes. Yeah. They kind of use the line. Yeah, I'm bored.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's great. And I know this song got a lot of play at MTV's Headbangers Ball.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, this is a great song. I think they knew how to market that riff and just the grooviness of the song. It's great.
And I think it's kind of a playful song, kind of like something DRI or even Anthrax would put out. It doesn't sound like Anthrax, maybe a little bit more DRI, but something like that. You know what I mean? Like I think of Suit and Tie Guy. Maybe I'm just following that sort of, because the video is I think it was done kind of black and white if I remember, and it was funky. It's really cool. I like it. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and you have to understand they're kids.
Yeah.
So kids will get bored easy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like the language that they use here, like I'm bored. Like, oh yeah, I get it. I get it. You're a teenager or you're a young adult and you're bored as fuck. I
Yeah,
get it. Totally understand it. The song pretty much nails it, right?
yeah. So number
Great song.
five here is where we get kind of, or sorry, number four. Well, sorry. Okay, number four was bored, but this is where it gets a little dicey because if
Yes, yes,
you had the CD copy, which would
yes.
have came out past post 1988,
That's
you
right.
would have Devil's Metal on
Yep.
here at this point, but we're gonna do Devil's Metal at the end
Yeah.
because we're going to just go with the old school sort of flow here. So number five, the song "Confused." What's your thoughts on "Confused"? I mean, I'm confused after I realized that
I
Devil's
know.
Metal it was only on the CD copy. And then I
I
had my
know.
cassette copy, and I'm like, yeah, it's not on here.
Yeah, yeah. I know. It's weird, but Confused is another good song. I mean,
Yeah.
you get lyrics by Rob, the music by Rob and Gus. I mean, it's great. I mean, Rob is a really good songwriter for sure. It's slow. It's almost kind of a doomy pace when it starts, very sludgy at times, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the chorus. That chorus is so great. Please listen to me. I
Yeah.
don't want to be confused anymore. It's great. I love it. It's just they have a certain knack for language. I mean, I think for young people growing up, so it makes a lot of sense. But there's a steady chug throughout the song. There's
Yeah.
a breakdown at 4:10, and then it builds back up at 4:23, and you get that really frantic pace. You get a
Mm-hmm.
solo that they squeeze in there as well. It doesn't stop. It's a really good bass. It's a good bass track too.
Yeah.
And then I think around 5:06, it starts to sound a little bit like Sabbath to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I was like, oh, this is like Sabbath, but a really, really good song.
And noteworthy, it's 7 minutes and 26 seconds long, so it's the second longest on the album.
Yeah, it's never
So
boring.
yeah, no, like and this is what I love about Death Angel. They on these first two albums, they have these long ass songs on some of them, and you do not at all think, "Wow, that was long." I looked
Yeah,
at the minutes and I thought, "Oh, this must be around 4.5 minutes." I was shocked to see it was almost 7 minutes 30 seconds.
yeah, me
So
too. Me too.
yeah, like I agree with everything you say. I mean, it's a killer track, and I think it's a darker kind of
Very
definitely a
dark.
more doomier sound, and there's a few of those on here, and I love it. Like that solo is really good that they squeeze in, and at 5:09, sort of that
Mm-hmm.
bass leads into a bluesy kind of rock chug that goes on. I mean, I think it's a great track, and I find we're like again we're five songs in, and we're hitting almost so many different types of genres,
Yep.
and which leads us into number six, "Guilty of Innocence." Now, this song starts off with these killer repeating riffs. At
Mm-hmm.
about just around 50 seconds, the vocal cuts in. And for me, this song has the biggest, and this is my first favorite song on the album.
Okay.
I think it
Okay.
has a huge Anthrax vibe for me. I think it's got
Yeah,
a
I can see
great
that.
chorus. At 2 minutes, that bass line leads into that chug. And when we did the first album, we always talked about how they threw the bass always in the forefront at parts of
Right.
the
Right.
songs.
They did. That's true.
Yeah, and this is
Like
another
Anthrax.
one that they do this with. And this is another total thrash track for me. At 2:56, it has that really different rip that starts back up again. So, I mean,
Mhm.
this is one of my favorite songs on the album. What do you think of "Guilty of Innocence"?
Oh,
Cool
I
name
agree.
too.
I I agree with you, dude. It's
Yeah,
a really good song. And Rob, again, Rob out front with both the lyrics and the vocals.
yeah,
Sorry, music, I should say. Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's great. Like there's a lot of there's a lot of good bass work in this song. I
Hmm.
find that's the one thing that I picked up. And then the lyrics. It's all about being falsely accused and then condemned for a crime that you didn't commit. So it's like a critique on like on snap judgments
Hmm.
and on like how broken the justice system is. This was another kind of song trope that a lot of bands love to talk about, like a lot of
Yeah, yeah.
thrash bands. So I think it's great. Like they got it. It's perfect to me. And I love how the song just kind of flows. It flows really well. It's chuggy at times. As I mentioned, the bass work is really, really good. Like it slows down at like 2:58, and then those guitars they wind back up in that really frenetic pace.
Yeah.
And then Mark has that scream. Whew, And right at the end too, right? It's so great. It's a blistering song right up to the end. I like this song a lot.
And I think it's fair to say, like I think it's such a cool play on words for the title, "Guilty of Innocence,"
That's
and
right.
you're right about it being a trope of the time because I think when you're writing a song, I mean, I've never written a song before, but thinking about being in prison or imprisoned, and everybody talking
Yeah.
about the crime you did do, and you're the only person who knows your innocence. I mean,
Yeah.
it's almost like a horror film in itself. You know what I mean?
Kinda. Yeah. I can see that. It's a trope. It's definitely a trope because I
Yeah,
know a lot of the bands, especially a lot of thrash bands, would write about the idea of being in prison and
yeah.
so forth and so forth. But yeah, it's a great song.
I got to get your take on track number 7 coming up here with "Open Up." Now, this is an interesting one. I'm rolling the dice whether you like it or don't, but I think you do.
No, I like it.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of groovy swagger on it. So like, it's really funky at times.
yeah.
But I think what I like the gang shouts. They're great. That the solo is really, really good. The drumming, oh yeah, the drumming here, Andy's amazing on the drums on this song, and it's got that groovy Sabbath vibe, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a really, really good chorus. Open up your eyes, I
Yeah.
love that. Like, and it's got there's a lot of blue. I wrote down like a lot of bluesy rock kind of
Mm-hmm.
swagger, going right into the 5th minute. And it's great, and it's all about they're kind of conveying this message about self acceptance, open mindedness, which is funny because that's what most of this band is about, right? And
Yeah.
the struggle against like societal norms. So it's somewhat of a trope lyrically, but for them, it's right up their alley. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
something they would write about. So I think it's a really good song. I like the song quite a bit. I don't mind the groovy swagger.
Okay, cool. I was worried. I'm not worried because I know you're pretty open minded with this stuff. But for me, I think this is almost like two songs in one. So
Yeah,
at towards the end of the song, and you hit the time signatures perfect with the grooviness and the funk and all that. But at 4:23, I find it goes more into a more recognizable thrash song. But
it
at the
does.
start, this thing opens up like a Red Hot Chili Pepper song
Yes. Yeah.
or
Like,
something off of the real what was it, the real thing from Faith No More.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, which is pretty off kilter. Yeah, yeah.
and Faith No More came out after this. I mean, this would
Right.
be something maybe off of like Freaky Styley or something like early Chili Peppers. It has that funk.
Yep.
The first half of the song, I'm just like, holy cow, this thing is just kind of not Death Angel at all. But I don't know, I really like it because I'm a huge Red Hot Chili Peppers fan.
Mm.
And a huge Faith No More fan. So for me, this was kind of neat. I mean, I go back to Jason's always saying in the back of my ear, Jimmy, if I want to listen to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I'm not going to get Death Angel to do it. You know? But this is cool. And then I like at 4:23 for me how it turns more into a recognizable. They're like, okay, let's take it back to thrash now, and they bring it kind of home in more of a thrash chug. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's still their bread and butter, right?
yeah,
So they're gonna try and reel it all back in. And I that's kind of the thing on all the songs where they'll go off script for a little bit, but they always try to reel it back in by the time the song ends.
yeah.
They're not
And you're right. I mean, Rob writes almost all the music and almost all the
pretty much.
vocals, or has a credit on pretty much everything except for the
Yeah,
cover. You know
yeah,
that, but wow, he like for him to kind of be somewhat critical of it. It's kind of funny. You know?
yeah.
But here we are. We're on track number 8, Shores of Sin. I mean, this is really neat because this has more of an ominous intro. It's got
Mm-hmm.
those waves kind of crashing, or you can hear it, and then it leads into a heavier sound, very doomy, very darker for me. At 2:40, you get a really cool thrash riff that leads into more of a recognizable thrash chug.
Yeah,
I think this one's another one where it's almost like two songs in one for me. And I love that line, searching for answers, and the bass kind of line in it is really good. But I find this is massively melodic. It's like, again, this almost feels like two songs in one for me,
yep.
just like
I
the
could see that.
last song. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I could see that. Like they're they tend to be more on the existential side of things when it comes to how they write stuff and they view things.
Yeah,
So I get a. You can see this album is like the perfect segue into Act Three because
Yes.
there's a lot of moments here that are telling you that you're going to get all this in Act Three. So it's great. So it's the perfect middle album. So what we just said earlier about 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
that makes the most sense because it's the middle album that's sort of setting up where they're going to go next on the journey.
Right.
But as a song, yeah, it is dark. It's very doomy. Again, there's a lot of friction and tension with the guitars, which is what I like. So that's why I was saying Voivod was one of the bands that I picked out.
Yeah.
And then the bass is so great. I love how the bass kicks things off at the start.
Yeah.
And at 122, that riff breaks in.
Yeah.
Holy crap. And the tempo is great. It's got some really good tempo changes. Mark is really, really good here. He doesn't even say a word until 258.
No, exactly.
Which is like, wow, holy crap. But the bass line is great. I love the gang shouts. The chorus is pretty solid. Searching for answers, searching for answers. It's catchy as hell. And it's a really good song. And again, yeah, like I said, it's all very existentially kind of placed the way they write and structure their songs. And this is a perfect example of it.
You know what? This album kind of reminds me, this and maybe Act 3, remind me kind of like Celtic Frost's Into the Pandemonium a bit. Not that it sounds anything like it. And I'm not comparing that. I'm thinking about the journey that Celtic Frost took and these guys kind of took. Like you go from Morbid Tales, which was originally an EP, to Megatheron, and then to Into the Pandemonium. Yeah. You're kind of taking a massive kind of journey there. And I think these three albums, this being the middle one, is very, very similar to that. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I could see some comparisons. Yeah, for sure. There's some comparisons. There are certain bands and certain artists who just basically want to evolve the sound or always bring in new creative elements into the sound and still keep it that band. Like Celtic, I don't care what anyone says. Celtic Frost is Celtic Frost. They're still Frost. They change. I mean, say what you want about Into the Pandemonium. I think it's an incredible
album. It's a great album.
Yeah, but it's still Celtic Frost. Even Cold Lake is still. I don't care what anyone says to me. It's still Celtic Frost.
And I will give Cold Lake full credit now, except for Cherry Orchards. I will go with every other song on it. You guys made me listen to it over and over again for the podcast, and I got to admit, if I can get a copy of it, I'm definitely going to. So.
But yeah, you're right. There are some comparisons.
Just in the journey. Maybe it's an artistic thing, and where I'm just a listener, I kind of you kind of pass over that sometimes, and maybe you think, this may not be good, but you got to realize, take it for what's happening. So
yeah, exactly.
But that leads us into number 9, which is the cover, which. It's I mean, I love Kiss.
I love this cover, dude.
Cold Gin's my favorite cover, and I think there might be a tie-in here because this was written by Ace Frehley. So I think that for me to think that, the guitarist probably had some push on this, but they do a killer cover on it. It's great. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I'm not. Well, I think a lot of musicians will say that Ace Frehley is their favorite, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a given for most guitarists.
Yeah.
And Ace is an amazing player. There's no question in my mind. He's so great. And, and I know this song's been covered by a lot of metal bands, but it's a great song. It's just, I always love this song. It's so good. And I think it works here. I actually like it on the album. I like it at number 9. I think it's slotted perfectly for me.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a break from what they're doing. And then because, there's so much, all the lyrics are so existential that you get this and it's like, oh, it's about drinking and it's, about having a good time and all that stuff. And it's a typical Kiss song. And then did you know that I was reading about this, that when Ace wrote the song, the riff, it's inspired from the band Free.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was reading about that. I was like, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And no, he didn't want to. He was supposed to sing the song originally, but he was too shy. So that's why apparently Gene stepped in and sang the song. But it's a
Which
great.
is kind of weird because I
Mhm.
always thought like Gene, as we found out like later in their career, that Gene and Paul never drank or did drugs or anything, and then here he is, mind you. And then again, Gene comes out with his own liquor, so I guess whatever. Yeah. But I think it's a great. I think it adds a little bit of dimension to the album, so you're getting all this kind of different stuff that's really thick and heavy and very deep, and then you kind of lighten it up with a song with a cover like this. I think is pretty good. And I would say Rob, I mean, I don't know this for sure, but I would say Ace Frehley's probably one of his, especially growing up in the times, because he's approximately a little younger than us, but
Mhm.
like at that time, I'm sure Ace Frehley was probably one of his mentors to some degree.
Well, I'll say the song fits because
Yeah.
there's a lot of like hard rock swagger in the song
Oh
itself,
yeah.
and because they're a lot of these songs have it individually, I can see why they picked this song in particular to be on beyond the album in my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great cover, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's my favorite Kiss song ever. So I thought it was
It's a
just,
good
I love the
song.
fact Death Angel does it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
dude.
So that leads us into number 10. It's interesting too. I mean, the first part, like the first out, the copy of the album that was originally released is 56 minutes and 17. So this is a long one, like
Yeah,
there's a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of songs on here. And then they add the 5 minute for Devil's Mental on the CD version. Probably couldn't fit it on a cassette back then, or a single cassette, and then the LP probably didn't have room for it. But what do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think of song number 10? It's got kind of an interesting cover, Mind Raid.
Mind Rape. Yeah, this is interesting. This is the only lyrical contributions from Andy, who wrote
Mm-hmm.
it, and then Rob did the music. Yeah, this is a banger. It's a good banger thrash song for me. Like it's really intense. It has like good gang shouts. It's kind of a riff monster, I think,
Yeah.
me personally. There's a lot of good thrash goodness right from 220 and onwards.
Yeah.
It rips hard for almost all of it. I think the soul is pretty solid.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that it's, lyrically, it's all about like psychological manipulation, brainwashing, and the loss of like personal autonomy, under a cult leader. That's the whole point of the song. They're
Mm-hmm.
talking about cult leaders. And so the song uses like violence, disturbing imagery in the song itself. It's a metaphor. So it's great. I love all the references to Christ, which I thought was kind of neat. Yeah, as a closing song, yeah, this is great. I have no complaints about the song whatsoever.
Cool, cool. So what's your thoughts I think it sounds for me almost like when you break it down, DRI meets Anthrax for me on this.
On this song, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. This has a
yeah, yeah.
huge
I get, yeah, I can see that. I
yeah.
think that's a good way to if you want to looking at trying to peg the song down. Yeah, I can see that.
And Mark's view, I think Mark sounds like, I think he sounds like Joey on this song. It
A
actually,
little
I
bit.
really like it. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark's a great vocalist. I saw a comment on I think it was on YouTube. Someone was saying he was a way better vocalist back then than he is now.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I could see that because I think he's kind of homogenized his vocal style now to be kind of one way.
Yeah.
Back then, he could sing clean, he could scream, he could shout. He did a lot of things then that he doesn't do now. So I that comment I thought was kind of it's a fair comment.
Yeah.
You know, like what he did with Kerry King. It's like basically
Yeah.
his interpretation of Tamara. So
Exactly.
yeah, but he's a really good vocalist for sure.
Cool. So we're heading along here, and we head into, what is it? Dehumanization.
Yeah, I gave these a. I didn't really spend a lot of time with these ones. These ones
Yeah,
were the bonus tracks. They're
yeah.
all right, like Silent Killer, which is yeah, they're okay. I didn't. I think they're all right. I don't mind them, but I didn't really spend a lot of time. Did you? I didn't spend a lot of
No,
time.
no. I went more with. Did you want to talk about Devil's Metal? Because
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Like I got to be honest. I thought that was an amazing. For me, I thought the intro. This is one of my favorites. I wish it was on the full album.
Yeah,
they kind of released it as a CD. I don't even know if it was a bonus track. Yeah, maybe it was on CD.
that's
But I
right.
mean, I love it. I think the leads and that heavy guitar riff, the song is just full of killer riffs. I think on
Yeah.
216, God, this is a long one as well. The vocals cut in.
Hmm.
I think it's a wicked song. The gang shouts. The chorus is great on this. It's got a breakdown that heads into like it's just at 259. It has this cool breakdown that heads
Hmm.
into a really awesome riff. At 414, it breaks into another heavy Metallica riff. I thought at
That's right.
434, the vocals kind of come back in, so they're kind of gone for a big portion of the song, and then come
Hmm.
back in, and then the riffs that send the song out is great. So this song, if you bought the CD version, would be song 5. So it's
Song five.
considered a
That's right.
bonus track, but it's not at the end or anything like that.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird how they worked that out.
Yeah.
But you're right. It is a really, really good song. And I pointed out to you earlier, we were chatting about how you listen to the opening of this song
Yes.
and you listen to Maiden's Lord of the Flies. It's like, holy shit, it just sounds like Lord of the Flies.
So
But
here's a
of
funny
course that
story.
came.
Last night, Ken texted me. I'm at my daughter's gymnastics. So he goes, Jimmy, you got to check out, or the other day, you got to check out Lord of the Flies. Re-listen to Lord of the Flies, and then re-listen to Devil's Metal, and tell me what you
Yeah,
think. And I was like, oh my god, the opening
yeah,
couple of minutes is just almost note for note.
yeah. And I'm sure it's just coincidence,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's like I was like, holy shit. Because I was listening to it, I was like, this reminds me of something Maiden. And I thought for a second, I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, Lord of the Flies. And so I went and
yeah.
listened to Lord of the Flies. And I'm like, yep, it's almost like the same song to some degree.
And I'm shocked you remembered that because that's on a Blaze album, the first Blaze album, I think, isn't it on
Yeah, the first
X
Blaze
Factor?
album, X Factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, uh, Ken must have really remembered that. Like, holy cow.
Actually, I like to be honest. I like X Factor. I don't
X
think it's a
Factor's a
bad
good
record. I
album,
think
yeah.
it gets a lot of heat for no reason.
Well, yeah.
Because Blaze is new to the band, but I always like the song.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and there's a lot of maiden. I find there's a lot of maiden worship in the song overall, though. When
Yeah.
you get to 401, the guitarists you start getting that kind of maiden crunch, and it's like, oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I could see that. So it's interesting. It's very interesting that you start hearing their I guess their influences start coming through, which I actually don't mind that so much,
Yeah.
and like Metallica did it later on in life. They a lot of their Thin Lizzy worship started to come through on the later albums. If you listen to like the later stuff, it's all Thin Lizzy to me. It has all
Mm-hmm.
those vibes to it. And so as you get older in life, I guess you let your guard down, but
Yeah.
they get here when they're young. This is what I find funny, you know.
That's wicked. No, I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, how does he even remember? Just I'm thinking, wow, because I was like, I went back on, and then when I listened to the song, I let the album play through because I haven't heard it in years, and I was like,
Yeah.
actually, this X Factor is pretty damn good.
Yeah, X Factor is a good album. There's a lot of good. I saw them live with Blaze. He's really good. He was actually a
Oh,
pretty
did you?
good performer. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw them live when I used to work for Air Canada Center, and I was a tour guide. At night, I worked in the concierge desk.
Oh, cool.
So that show they did, I was there. I saw that Maiden show. It was great. It was
Oh, good.
really, really good.
Who opened
Yeah.
for them? Do you remember?
What was that?
Who opened for them?
I don't even remember now.
Yeah, I don't remember
I
either.
was can't remember. I know I saw the show, and I was going in like I was ducking in every 5 minutes to catch songs, but great. I think that's a really good album for me
Cool.
personally.
So that brings us to, well, I mean, we already talked about sort of our ranking. So both of us would go 1, 2, and 3. And I think it's a natural progression. For me, after talking with you with it in depth here, Ken, I really think they're very similar, not in music, not in vocals, not even really in writing, but to
Mhm.
Celtic Frost. I think that they've taken that. I think you've got somebody like Tom Warrior who took the band in the direction he wanted to go. I mean, yeah,
Mhm.
we talk about Cold Lake, and a lot of people either love it or hate it, but that wasn't necessarily Tom's Tom's vision. I think that was more he was pushed, you know, due
Well,
to
the record label,
record labels. Yeah,
what I've read, they had a lot of put say on pushing the band in that direction.
yeah.
I don't
Which I
think he
mean, you
wanted
know,
to go in that
it
direction.
always happens. But
Yeah.
I think it's very similar in that sense that they kind of they definitely, in a way, I think they wrote this one kind of for themselves, and
Hmm.
I think that's kind of cool. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, then Act Three came out and blew everything out of the water in their catalog, according to most fans. I mean, that's you know, but everybody who talks about thrash, definitely the first three Death Angel albums are quintessential albums in the movement for sure.
I agree. Yeah,
Yeah,
you need to have them.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I liked Act Three. Act Three is great. It's a good album, but it's definitely not a thrash album per se.
Yeah.
It
No.
has its moment. It has its moments on it.
Yeah.
I think the first two are much more linked together than the third for me
Yeah.
personally. Not that I hate any of them. I like all three albums.
No, no. I mean, I love the first album's rawness and the how young they are just then and just they came onto the scene with that. And then I love this album's more of a thinking album in a sense that like, okay. And I think it's ingenious how they tied the song one, you know, third floor into the actual album art. I think that's pretty
Yeah.
cool. And then I love Act Three because I mean Act Three that it seemed like the label got really behind it, their new label. And at that point, when that came out, thrash and death metal was just so on the rise,
Yeah,
heading into the early '90s.
and
Exactly.
actually, yeah, Act Three is good. I mean, it's just solid.
Yeah,
There's all really good. I think this is the album where Mark really nails as a singer.
yeah. Same
For me
here.
personally, I think he's really good on the album. As the singer of the band, but I like Mark. I've always liked his vocals.
And I know I've asked you this question before, and I've asked
Mm.
Billy it on one of our other. I think maybe it was Act Three. Do you guys like? What is your thoughts on if there was an Act Four? Like, we waited so long between. I mean, there was a greatest hits album that sort of came out. There, it was a record company sort of requirement. It
Yeah,
didn't even have the Death Angel logo, which was kind of lame. It might have been live or it was greatest hits, and then they didn't come out till like 18 years or whatever after. What do you think? Like, do you think? And I think I asked this question before, but I just want to bring it up again. Do you think
mm-hmm.
they would have gone more into a Pantera style in the earlier
No,
mid?
I don't think that would be their
No.
thing. Now remember, they spilled this into the organization. Don't forget that.
That's right. Yeah, good point.
So the organization is, and I think I remember when we were talking about this originally, I said they would have. The organization is the natural progression, and I'll maintain that. If you
Yeah,
go back and listen to the organization, that to me is a natural progression from Act Three to that, in my mind.
yeah.
So I would think the groove metal
Good point.
they would have continued doing, and Act Three shows all that to me because it's pretty much all of Death Angel. The only difference is a couple who's not there.
Oh,
Rob's
what this?
there.
Yeah,
I think
Rob's
Mark
there.
isn't there. Mark is
Yeah,
not there
no.
because I think that's where Rob doesn't Rob sing, I think Rob sings on that album.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so it's essentially still the band because they're all like family members, with the
yeah,
exception
yeah.
of Mark, who's not a family member. So I mean, like, so there, it's still Death Angel technically, just under a different name.
Well, it was kind of like I guess, like we always talked about if Death had, you know, here you had the band Death who put out, who Chuck came out with Control Denied. Would
Right.
have he? What would have there ever been another Death album? We don't know, but he
I
was
think there would
obviously.
have been. There would
Yeah,
have
you
been.
think so? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. He would have went back to it. He's
yeah,
Control Denied was all right, but at the end of the day, it's not one of my favorites albums.
no,
I'll listen to
no,
it once in a while, but I don't like the singing on it. First of all, I'm not a fan of the singer, and I don't like
yeah,
that direction. I want to hear, well, I want to hear death metal. That's what I
yeah,
want.
yeah,
So when I listen to this album, it's like, yeah, this isn't death metal.
yeah. And I mean, what was
I hardly
the
listen to
album
it.
before it was what Perseverance?
Yeah,
So
Perseverance is amazing. I love
yeah, yeah,
that Travis Smith cover. Oh, wicked.
yeah.
Oh,
That's true.
love that album. But
Yep.
yeah,
Cool. Well, we kind of Ken came up with kind of an interesting top five. We both had kind of troubles with this, and that's
yeah,
what I like about it because I kept thinking about my own thoughts, and then I kept thinking about so I would go online and see what other people were thinking, just to see if my line was in line, I guess, in the sense that, so I would just kind of went with my own opinions, but I know that
subjective.
we don't need any hate or anything because it's just
No.
opinion based. But I mean, this was hard. I only got like 4, so you go first.
I got 5. Yeah, I got 5. It took me a while. I was telling you, I was texting you. I was like, yeah, I'm having a hard time with this one. So I had to think. But once I sat down, I'm like, okay, so it is subjective. I wasn't basing it on record sales or anything like that. I just
no, it's just based on what we think, but or maybe what the genre thinks or whatever. But it's not based on sales or
no. So like I Machine Head's a really good example. I mean, Burn My Eyes.
That was mine.
Yeah, that's an incredible record, dude.
Oh, and so first I'll explain what it is. I didn't even explain it. So Ken came up with a second album, a sophomore album that was not really a letdown, but not a departure from the first album or not as good as the first album. And then generally the band rebounded with a third album. But go ahead. Yeah, Machine Head was on my list.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a great album, but when they came to the More Things Change in '97, I didn't like it. I don't know what they were going for there, but it didn't have any of the oomph and the heat of the first album, because that song Davidian, I love that song.
Yeah.
Such a great song. Good album. It's a really, really good album. So for me, it's kind of a letdown, and I think most people will say the same. I think if you listen to most fans, they have the same opinion that the sophomore album is really kind of inferior to the original. Right. But then I can also say that their first album is the best of the band's discography. So if you listen to that band, anything else after that, the Blackening is not bad, but
it's pretty good. Yeah,
I like the Blackening, but at the end of the day, I think their first album will always be what they're noted for.
Yeah.
In my mind. So then I picked Exhumer. Possessed by Fire is an incredible album. I love that German. That's German thrash, 1986. What a great album with the song Fallen Saint. Love it. And then they did Rising from the Sea in 87. And it's like, oh, what happened here?
Yeah.
It has none of the bite of the first album in my mind. And it's okay. I mean, it's got some decent thrashers, but no, I don't know what they were thinking. Why? And sometimes that happens. Like your best shit is in your first album, and you can't duplicate that.
Yeah.
I think that's what the case. And it's funny, Exhumer, when they broke up and came back, their last 3 or 4 albums have been great. Awesome albums. I have them all. Love it. Good, solid thrash records. So I guess it's weird how that happens, right?
Yeah.
And then I have Evil. Of course, this isn't so bad to me. Like, I mean, Enter the Grave, we discussed it already in our podcast.
Yeah.
But it's a great album. It's a great modern thrash record. But when they went to do the follow-up, Infected Nations, it's still good. It's still a good record. But I don't like the change in vocal style. Matt changed the style. So it's got more of a James Hetfield kind of he's going more in that direction, which I don't think they should have did that. It's okay. I don't think it's a bad record, but I don't think it tops the first.
Right.
I don't think it tops the first.
Right. And that's a lot of it. Like, a lot of it is some bands, like, sometimes it was easier, I think, for us to do debut albums that were kind of not very good, and the second albums got better, I think. But
that's right.
This one was a harder one to do, because in a lot of cases, the second albums we all love, but it just didn't match the legendary status of the first one. Yeah. That's
right. Well, the next one's the same for me. If you like Exhorter and Slaughter in the Vatican, holy shit, that's an amazing record. That's got like Pantera to the max. Like it's got thrash. It's heavy as hell. It's mean. Great record. But when they did The Law in '92, it was okay, but it's kind of a letdown because it just doesn't have the bite and just the anger of Slaughter in the Vatican. And I love that cover, Slaughter in the Vatican, so great. What a great record. That record's so good, so underrated. No one talks about it.
Yeah,
but it's a super great record. That's a big letdown to me. in between those two records.
Yeah.
Sure. And then the last one, this is the one I think is the biggest letdown out of all of them. Modern Thrash, Bonded by Blood, which I like. I love the first album, Feed the Beast, 2008. Yeah. Great record. I think it's awesome. There's some really good songs on it. Immortal Life, Civil Servant, Evil Within. The vocals by that Jose Barales. He's great.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great vocalist. But then they turn around 2010, and then they give us Exile to Earth. What a dud.
Yeah.
What a fucking dud. I like, it's just, I never listened to it. I don't see the point. I hate the cover. I find the songs lackluster. But that first album, Feed the Beast, awesome. I love that album. But yeah, that's my 5.
Cool. Well, I only got I had out of my 4, you had one which was Machine Head, which was kind of an easy one because we're both fans of that first album so much.
Yeah, for sure.
But this one here, I may get a little bit of pushback with. So I went with Morbid Angel. And, okay. And I want to clear things up first. I love the Blessed Are the Sick. But I got to, if we're talking about first and third albums, not necessarily a letdown, but maybe more of a seminal album, like just kind of keeping the pace until that. I think, I mean, okay, you have Altars of Madness, which is in probably most people's top 10 or top 5 death metal albums of all time. To follow that up, I know is extremely hard. But then they come back in, what is it here? In 93 with Covenant, which I think that part of this is probably the fact, which I absolutely love that album. And I love Blessed Are the Sick.
Yeah, it's a good album.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that maybe Covenant got a lot of, believe it or not, a lot of MTV play because I think there was a song on it that was played on Beavis and Butthead. I think God of Emptiness. And I think that just pushed the album down. Like maybe it, but it also has a lot. It's critically acclaimed. I mean, all 3 albums are fairly critical acclaimed, but I think that a lot of people feel that that's maybe Blessed Are the Sick is kind of sandwiched in between that.
That's my favorite record, Morbid Angel.
Yeah, oh, is it?
Oh yeah, Blessed Are the Sick is an incredible album. I totally love that album.
It is a great album. I love it. And but I mean, I was struggling hard. I was like, you know what? But this is one that, and I kind of read a lot about it. And I was thinking, yeah, I can see it. And for me, that's how I feel. Another one that we're probably not going to agree on was just Exodus, Bonded by Blood, because I'm a huge Paul Bailoff fan. Yep. So for me,
I know you like him. Yeah,
the original is my favorite. I wouldn't say that Pleasures of the Flesh is a dud in any universe because we love that album. And it just, I think maybe the change in singer, I have no issues, with Zetro. I absolutely love everything. I love Pleasures of the Flesh, but I think that to match that and to go on from that is definitely, I mean, that's probably one of the, again, if you're talking top thrash albums in the genre, generally Bonded by Blood is usually talked about in that.
Just to interject for a sec, Jim, you have to understand though, like they went from Pleasures to Fabulous. Yeah, Fabulous is a fucking amazing album.
Yeah, exactly.
I think what you're saying basically is that, not that I want to steal your thunder, but
no, go ahead.
What you're saying though is, I think Zetro was still trying to find himself when he joined the band. So Pleasures is actually an okay album, but it's not one of my favorites.
No.
I think Fabulous is the album I prefer, but
I think Fabulous Disaster. So it fits in between those two, and I agree. Right. Remember, they kind of had to find, on top of that, they had to find a new guitarist.
That's right.
I mean, I think Kirk left just as that album got released.
That's right.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, they were kind of a little bit disheveled in that sense where they had member issues going, forward from there. But I mean, I like Pleasures of the Flesh. I think
it's an okay record. I don't mind it. It's not my favorite of the 3, but
yeah, exactly. Same with me. I would go 1, 3, and 2. Yeah.
That's how I would do the same.
Yeah, so kind of an interesting one, but here's kind of a mainstream heavy metal one that I don't know what your thoughts are on it, and I'm kind of thinking about it, but I thought about this, and I go with I'm going to go with Guns N' Roses here, and I know I go with Appetite for Destruction, which is a landmark. I consider it heavy metal rock. It's a rock metal album, but it was so legendary for its time. Then they come out with Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. Now, both great albums. And I think they were one of the first bands to start this sort of, we're going to release 2 albums at the same time. I remember buying the CDs. I think if you bought both of them, you got a deal on them, like $12 each or whatever. But I mean, let's be honest. If you took 1 and 2, whittled it down to 1 with maybe 12 songs on it, you would have probably an album that would be just as strong, or if not stronger, than the first album. Like,
I agree. I agree. Yeah. I agree
just, if you whittled it down, I mean, you got the hits like Civil War, You Could Be Mine from the Terminator, and you've got all the, but there's like kind of a lot of, even though they're 2 great albums and I love listening to them in their entirety, I just find both of them can be a little long in the tooth when it comes down to the fact that we really need 2 albums to sort of represent what was going on here. I don't think so. There's some kind of fun songs on there, like I like Dead Horse. There's one with Alice Cooper on there. Yeah, like Pretty Tied Up's kind of funny. But like, did we need? I don't know. It's just I find. But then there was really the third album was like, we're just going like, obviously the first album would be hard to top in any part of their career because it was their landmark album.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's like kind of, I guess, because Appetite was such a good. I mean, they had Lies in there as an EP with the live
Lies, yes,
and a couple of singles on it. But it, that was an EP, so that came right after Appetite and right before the Use Your Illusions 1 and 2.
Right.
I just find, like, I know Bruce Springsteen did it with 2 of his albums at the same time, and a lot of bands were trying that out. It was kind of good instead of releasing 1 long album, trying to get people to buy 2. Yeah, I think 2 sold better than 1 in dollars. I like 1 better. It's got a lot of, I think it was Alice Cooper sung on The Garden.
Yes.
Because there's 2 songs on those CDs. One's called The Garden of Eden. Another one's called The Garden. And I think Alice Cooper sung on The Garden there.
On The Garden, yes.
Yeah. So, and then another one that I read about, but I don't necessarily agree with, people were talking about Van Halen. So they were saying that Van Halen 2, which I think, I love Van Halen. I'm a huge Van Halen fan. So I love, not a huge Sammy with Van Halen fan, although my wife likes that portion, so I kind of got inundated with it. But I like, I love Van Halen 1's one of my favorite rock debut albums of all time.
Oh, it's a killer record, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe people are right saying 2 was a little bit more, not really as thick and deep, but you could say that, I mean, Van Halen 2 definitely, for me, is a continuation of how great the band is. So I didn't want to write... Yeah, I didn't want to write that one down because I wasn't feeling it. But a lot of people also said that about Iron Maiden, which I don't agree with.
Really? Like, Killers is an amazing album, dude.
I know, and Killers, Killers is fantastic.
It's in my top 3 Maiden albums of all time.
There you go. And then you go right into what comes after Killers.
Number of the Beast.
Number of the Beast. I mean, like, you got, I don't know how, I mean, I guess old school Maiden fans, maybe. I mean, I'm an old school Maiden fan. I love Iron Maiden, Same. The debut, but Killers was just like, okay. And then going into Number of the Beast.
Killers is an amazing album all the way through. Yeah. I think they really found their stride on Killers.
Yeah.
And
I think it was a much better sound.
Oh yeah, the sound is way better. Yeah. The songs are punkier, and there's so many like horror vibes on it. Like there's like, oh, I love it. That's one of my favorite albums.
So I was kind of like thinking, am I missing something here? So I listened to both albums and I was like, no, for me, it's a natural progression. My favorite Maiden album of all time, I would be tied between, and this probably is my generation and your generation probably is similar. I mean, you love those, the Diano albums, but I mean, I saw Power Slave live my first show. So Power Slave's my number 1. And then my number 2 is Seventh Son. And then I go back to those Diano albums for sure, and Number of the Beast. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I think for me it's like somewhere in time, Seventh Son and Killers are my 3 favorite albums. I think Billy said his number 1 is Somewhere in Time.
Yeah, I believe that's a great album. For me, I'll never like. But I mean, Killers, I know Killers is such a good. It's got so many good. I mean, the album from the album art. I mean, the album art on every album, Iron Maiden album is really good. But that
Yep.
Killers album art is legendary. You know.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's so good. Oh yeah, it's got some great songs in it. Murders in the Rue Morgue. Oh,
But then there
oh.
was a lot of new. I guess now it's not new metal, but back in the day, they people were saying Korn's first album and their second album, but I don't even know them very well, so couldn't comment on that.
I've heard both albums. I do see why people would like the first Corn
Yeah,
over the second one. I'm not a Corn fan either, so it's not something I.
is their first album the one Follow the Leader?
Yes,
Yeah, okay, that was their
it's
big hit
got
album.
Todd McFarlane who drew Spider-Man cover on it.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, the album
His
artwork's
artwork.
pretty cool.
Yeah, Todd McFarlane, who's one of my favorite artists
Yeah,
who did that. So yeah, yeah, but I'm not a Corn fan either, so
yeah.
I couldn't
So
get
that
into.
was a good one. That was a good mind bender you threw there, Ken, because I was like, "Oh, yeah, this is going to be easy," and then I kept picking bands, and I kept going, "No, no, no,
Well, you
no."
know what it is, Jimmy? It's the other way around. It's the reverse.
Yeah,
Like, first Anthrax is second one's great.
yeah,
Metallica, I don't know, you could debate if you like Ride or Kill 'Em All, but same with Megadeth, right? The first one, yeah. Peace Sells, fantastic.
yeah.
So it's
That's
like
a good point.
it doesn't it kind of works and it doesn't work. It's like, well, that's a better album. Like even Maiden, like first album is good, but the second album is better.
Well, you
So
couldn't say it about. I couldn't say it about Slayer with a straight face. Like I was sitting there going, "Okay, Show No Mercy, fantastic album." But then you've got
yes,
Hell Awaits, which is just a continuation of how fantastic the band is. Then you have a lot of people would say their third album, and I love their
Spring.
fourth album. And you love, I know you love Seasons as well. We all love like the first bunch of albums. Like I don't see a differentiate between the first album. Like it just keeps getting. I mean, they keep getting slicker. They keep
Better,
like by the time they hit Seasons. I mean, let's be honest. Seasons in the Abyss, the song could be like played on heavy radio. I'm not
that's right.
talking like Skeletons in Society or Hollowed Point or Dead Skin Mask, but or but I mean like compared to South of Heaven and then going backwards through Rain and Blood and Hell Awaits, it's like getting a little less brutal to some degree, but just getting more better produced and whatnot. But
Well,
I
I think
couldn't
more
say,
melodic too. More
yeah.
melodic over time, right? Well, you can only write so many brutal songs, dude.
And then Testament, I was thinking, okay, what about the Legacy? And then I'm like, yeah, but my favorite Testament album is the second album. Like,
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. And the same with like Heathen. The second
yeah,
album is a classic. First album
yeah,
is okay. Second album is a brilliant album.
yeah.
So it doesn't really apply to some.
And Megadeth, there's no comparison. First
No, no,
album's
that album
terrible.
stinks. Yeah, and then Peace Cells is a masterpiece, right?
Yeah, and the Metallica, I was like, maybe I should do Metallica. But I mean, everybody knows Metallica, Kill 'Em All is my favorite album of all time. So I'm sitting there, but I mean, I'll admit the genesis between Kill 'Em All to Ride the Lightning is a better album. I mean, better
Yeah,
production,
yeah,
better, yeah, better writing, better. And then when you go on to Master, it even gets better. Justice gets better. So
yeah.
I couldn't sit there with a straight face. Like if they had brought out, if they brought out Load in place of, if they brought out, if it went Kill 'Em All, Load, and then, which is impossible, but Kill 'Em All, Load, and then Ride, I'd be like, okay, Metallica for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, for sure. And then
But
you can apply that to Creator. Like the first
yes,
Creator album, Endless Pain, is not great. Pleasure to Kill is a
oh,
masterpiece.
so masterpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's like, yeah, it's like the second album. Most of these bands that we like, they start finding their stride on their second albums,
yeah.
or they're finding they're just getting their mojo going on the second album.
But that was a good one because I was like, holy
Yeah,
cow, that's, I was like, this is really hard. I mean, I generally can think in my mind without really doing any sort of research, okay, what I think about certain bands and my favorites, my not favorites, whatever. But that was
yeah,
hard. And I'm trying
yeah.
to
That's what I
find,
was telling you. I was like, this is hard, man.
yeah, and I'm trying to find like stuff that's not like I'm thinking, but man, like the Morbid Angel thing. I'm like, I don't necessarily agree with this. Why am I even bringing this up? I'm like, and it's your favorite. The second album's your favorite. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
Blessed
hilarious.
is an incredible album.
Yeah, yeah, it
It's the
is.
one
And
I play the most. I play it all the time.
oh yeah. See, I'm a
Is
huge
it
Covenant fan, and I think for me, I think the first one I got was Blessed. I went back and got the
Blessed? Yeah,
first
yeah.
one, and then I got Covenant. I mean, I think Covenant, if there ever was a Morbid Angel commercialized album, maybe that's it. I don't know.
Well, it doesn't have the bite of the first two for sure.
Yeah,
I like Covenant. I mean, I haven't heard it in a while, but it's still a good record.
yeah. You must
But
like the
yeah,
album cover with all the. It's got the knife and the
yeah,
satanic
yeah,
Bible,
yeah.
and it's got all the
Yeah, that's
tropes
cool.
there. Yeah,
It's cool. They're good with their record covers.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
And then I was
blessed.
thinking Obituary. Not a
Yeah,
chance. Like I think Slowly Rots is a masterpiece. But the
yeah.
second, third, fourth, I can keep going. The
I
albums
know.
just keep getting better and better.
I know. Yeah. You're right. It's like that because yeah,
Yeah,
Troy's a great band. Death's the same. Scream
yeah.
Bloody Gore is really good, and then you get the
But
second album, Leprosy, and it's
Leprosy is my favorite.
for most people. Yeah, I know. It's funny.
And then Spiritual Healing's like he's your favorite. Oh no, your
Yeah, it's my
favorite's
favorite.
Human.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I love that album.
yeah,
But I mean, yeah. So it's hard. It's really hard. It works. I don't know. I guess it does kind of work, but when you're thinking about it, no, second albums are better.
yeah.
But then it would have been way too easy if we did like, what? Give me your top 5 best second albums.
Yeah.
That'd be easy, right?
Yeah, yeah. In a lot of cases, it'd be the big four right off the bat. I mean, Among the Living, yeah. Or actually, that's not their second. Sorry, Spreading the Disease, yeah.
The Spreading's an awesome album.
Yeah, I love it. It's probably one of my favorite thrash albums. I love it. I like it probably better than Among the Living, but not by much, but only because I love the change between Joey, and I like Neil Turbin's first, but I like how the direction the band went, you know.
Well, it's nice
Madhouse.
that they're actually playing some of these Spreading the Disease songs
Yeah.
now, which is great. I love it.
And you saw, I sent you that clip there for, they played in Japan. Anthrax played I'm the Man.
Yes. Yeah, I saw that.
Wicked.
Actually, there's a full concert the last night in Osaka.
Yeah.
You can catch the whole show.
Oh, wicked.
So I watched the whole thing. It's like an hour and a half.
That's really good.
And it's awesome, dude. It's really, really good.
Cool.
So, I mean, they stuck to the classics. The only one song they threw in there was Breathing Lightning.
Okay.
But that's it. They didn't stick to anything kind of new. It was mostly, which makes sense because most people, when you don't play a lot and they haven't played together in a long time, everybody wants to hear the classics, right?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear the new stuff.
No, true.
I mean, I do, but I mean,
we do. We want to hear the new stuff.
Yeah, the new stuff. That's right. We want to hear that, but we have to wait.
Cool. Well, we're at the end of the show here. Billy's hosting next week.
Yeah.
Do you want to let everybody know? I think he made a choice, did he not?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sodom. We're doing Persecution Mania.
Nice.
Which is a good record. Which is again like the first Sodom. Second, way better.
Yeah. So actually, good point.
Fits in that theme. So we'll be back next week, the three of us. Yeah. Back together again, But Jim, we survived. We survived this, the two of us.
That's right. This was a good one. I thought I had a lot of fun, Ken.
And it's the first time we've did just two of us.
Yeah, and it's a great album because we both really were into it, which is cool. Yeah. Like we didn't get much diversity in the talk, but that was kind of by design because I wanted to do like. I love Death Angel, so I wanted to at least knock out the 3 first albums.
You have to.
Like Slayer, we're done. I think like all the first 5, and then we've done everything up until Seasons. So we've done that. Yeah.
No, and we did. We also did. I think it was Seasons. Yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
And we did another one. We did a later one too. Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
God Hates Us All. No.
No.
God, we only did it like a month ago.
I know, and it's doing well. It's like over 200 views.
Yeah. We don't even know our own work. Jesus.
We're getting old, dude.
I know.
We're just getting old.
That's funny. Because I'm like, oh no, we've only done that many. No, we've done more.
Yeah, I think Slayer's the one band we've covered pretty much all their classics.
Yeah, it was God Hates Us All. Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, cool.
That's
Well, with
funny.
that, I guess we'll say good night and thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Good night.
Yes, sir. Good night, everybody.